All right, y'all. So one thing that's really important to me clinically, and it's something that I weave through all my conversations with clients, if it would be the first session, all the way to the last session and beyond, is this idea is what is right with you? What is right with you? I think we focus sometimes in mental health, we focus a little bit too much of what is wrong with you. I like to focus on what is right with you. I start with that from the first conversation. What do you like? Who are you? What do you like about yourself? What are your interests? What are your strengths? I start with that first, from the first conversation, because I really believe that if we focus on the things that are right with us, the things that we're good at, we can use those to our advantage. We can use those to our advantage when we're working on our struggles, right? Sometimes what I see is when we focus on the struggles, and that's where we go first, basically a person then develops an identity around that. That's their identity. Oh, I'm an anxious person, or I'm depressed, or whatever it would be. And those are all valid things, guys. Those are all valid. But here's the thing. I want to suggest that you are more than anxiety. You're all the awesome things. I want you to believe that you're all the awesome things, and you start with all those awesome things. And because you do struggle, we're going to use those awesome things to battle those struggles. Does that make sense? I want to create a conversation of positivity rather than negativity, okay? You are more than your struggles. You are more than that negativity.
This struggle got purpose and we grow. So whatever road we have to take next, all I need to know is that we'll roll with the punches.
Who do you think you are? You say you wanna talk, but all I'm hearing is a monologue. Who do you wanna be? You say you're really deep, but I can tell you don't know what that means. You can swim in shallow waters, but it's gonna get you nowhere, and I'm way too good to waste my time on.
All right, y'all. I want to talk about something today because I've started noticing, as it gets warmer out with spring, we're going to have allergies, and kids are going to have allergy shots. We got the COVID vaccine and various other things. I work with a lot of people, especially kids, but also adults. Work with a lot of kids and adults that just have a fear of needles and invasive medical procedures. And so I thought I would talk about that for a minute and what I do to help them. So, part of everything that I do is filtered through this cognitive behavioral therapy lens, right? So thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. We look at everything through thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So someone getting a blood draw, someone getting a shot, right? That's the situation, right? That situation doesn't cause that person to be upset or scared or whatever it would be, right? That situation is just neutral, right? It's just a shot, right? It's just a shot. It's just an injection. It's just a blood draw. It's just a nasal swab, right? Whatever it would be, okay? That's just the situation. Now, what happens is the person receiving the medical treatment brings their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors to that situation. So, especially with kids, what I do is I start talking to them about that shot doesn't cause you to be afraid or to be in pain. It's how you think, feel, and act. So the cool thing is you could go from being afraid of a shot to not being afraid of a shot anymore. It's just we just have to change the way that you think, that you feel, and you act towards that shot, all right? And so what I do is I tell kids, like, I want them to be on the offense. I want them to be aggressive. So one of the first things we do before we even start talking about the cognitive behavioral part, we start thinking about, man, I'm ready to get that next shot. I'm ready to get that next shot. Let's go. What's taking so long? I'm ready to get that blood draw. Let's go. So we get our mind on this offense, right? Because with anxiety is going to want to put us on defense of like, oh no, I don't want to get that shot. Let's get it in a month month or two. Let's postpone it. No. We're not going that way, y'all. We're not going that way. You guys know with me, I'm on offense. We got to go into that anxiety. We got to go into the anxiety. So the sooner that we can get the skills and you can develop the skills, and then the sooner we can go and we can practice those skills, the better. So the first thing I say is we got to change our thought around it. Instead of I don't want to get that shot, I do want to get that shot. I do want to get that blood draw. I do want to get that COVID test. Let's go. I do. It's a choice, right? It's a choice. Remember, it's a choice. How you think is a choice. You can think any thought at any time. So you could choose to say, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. You could choose to say, I'm scared. Or you could say, I want to do it. Let's go. What's taking so long? What's taking so long? I'm ready. I'm strong, right? I can do this. You can think any thought at any time. That thought is going to set us up for that feeling, okay? That feeling, you know, that anxious feeling of feeling like, for me, my stomach always feels in knots. Like, I do not like feeling that way. Oh, my stomach feels in knots. I feel like an elephant steps on my chest. I just feel like a really tight chest. Uncomfortable feelings. But what we got to do is we got to push through those feelings. We got to push through those feelings. We got to know that that's anxiety and that we just have to accept that's how I'm going to feel, right? And as I change my thought process over time, my feelings are going to change. I'm not going to have as many anxious feelings, right, as I do this more, okay? Now, what we're going to do behaviorally is generally when you go in for a blood draw or you go in for some medical treatment, you're kind of like apprehensive and you're like sitting over in the corner and you're like, oh, I don't want them to do it right now. I don't want, oh, can we just hold off? No, nurse, no, don't, no. No, what we're going to do is we're going to walk in. We're going to roll up our sleeve. We're going to roll up our sleeve and we're going to be like this. All right, let's go. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. Come on, nurse. All right, let's go. And you're going to just relax. You're going to relax and you're going to breathe through it, okay? The anxiety is going to want to make you kind of tighten up. It's going to make you want to go on defense, and you're just going to stay calm and you're going to be thinking positive thoughts. I got this. I got this. Come on, nurse. Let's go. You can't hurt me. This is not going to hurt me. And we're going to be talking our way positively through this rather than negatively, right? The behavioral part is we try to fight and we try to do all this stuff to keep the needles off of us. No, we're going to leave ourselves open. We're going to leave ourselves open and let's go. Come on, I got this. I'm rolling up my sleeve, and guys, guess what? The sooner you can get in and get that shot, the sooner you can get that blood draw, like meaning when you walk in there, let's go. I don't want it to take more than a minute. The nurse, once the nurse walks in, the nurse should be sticking the needle inside of you within a minute or so, okay? I don't want it delaying longer than that, because that's when the anxiety starts to set in. That's when the apprehension sets in. We want to go. We want to go. I've heard of people taking like 30 and 40 minutes. Guys, anxiety doesn't get easier the longer you wait. Anxiety doesn't get easier. It gets harder, right? It gets harder, all right? So we're thinking, I got this. Anxiety, you're not going to get the best of me. I'm strong. I can handle this. This is not going to hurt. We're thinking these things. We're pushing through those feelings, right? We're pushing through those feelings, or whatever those feelings are, you know, in our stomach, in our chest, if we're sweating, whatever it would be. So we're just pushing through those feelings, and then we're keeping ourselves open to that shot. We're keeping ourselves open to that shot or that nasal swab, right? You're just, come on, let's go, nurse. Come on, what are you waiting for? I'm ready. I'm showing you. I'm keeping my body open. I'm not closing it off. I'm not dodging you. I'm not doing anything. I'm ready to go. I'm keeping my body open, all right? Guys, you got this. You got to keep reminding yourself, positive thoughts, offensive thoughts. You got this. The cool thing about our program here is, which I love, is that we're able to do a lot of this like in the moment, because we're community based. I'm able to go with people. I'm able to go with people and able to go with them to either the allergy appointment or the appointment with the, you know, the nurse to get the blood draw or the shot. And so we're able to kind of work through these things in the moment as they're happening because we're community based. So really good times. But you know, I think if you just keep your mind going and give yourself positive thoughts, I got this, this is not gonna hurt. You recognize that those are just anxious feelings. You keep your body open. You're gonna have to be strong. You're gonna have to be strong. This is where I talk a lot about self-love and confidence. It's gonna have to come from within, right? It's gonna have to come from within. Parents, be careful. Don't overdo it for your child. I see a lot of parents like holding them down or, you know, all this other stuff. Fine on a limited basis, fine on a limited basis, but that is just a band-aid. That's not going to take care of their fear long term. Your child needs to walk in and say, I got this. I got this. I don't need anyone or anything else. I'm strong enough. I can do this. Let's go. That's what we need. That's what your child needs. Your child needs that confidence. We need to give them that confidence that no needle is going to scare them. Nope, no medical procedure is going to scare them. Nope, nothing. Let's go. I'm strong. I'm going into it. I'm going into it. Okay, it's time for what's been coming up in client sessions. All right, y'all, what's been coming up in client sessions? Hey, let's talk about this for a second. Okay, this idea, when we're talking about anxiety, you know, people who struggle with anxiety, you know, they want to have certainty in their life. They want to have certainty in their life. They want to know all the things that are going to go on in a situation because that makes them feel better. It makes them feel better when they know what's going to go on. So they think of all kinds of different situations, right? And at times, probably what happens is their mind goes in so many different directions that they start catastrophizing. They actually make the situation larger than it is because they want to think about every potential situation that could happen. Because if they know, then that creates that certainty and it prepares them for any type of danger that might happen, right? It makes them feel less anxious to basically say, oh, okay. But what happens is when you start thinking about those things, now your brain goes to that. And then it goes over here, and then it goes over here. It goes on all these bunny trails. And so one of the things that I love doing is helping people instead of needing certainty, instead of needing to know kind of all that's going to go on or planning for all that's going to go on, we're just going to let go of that. We're going to just let go of that. We're going to relax. We're going to breathe, and we're just going to settle into this uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know. It might happen, right? It might happen. It may not happen. If it does happen, okay, fine. Okay, fine. If it does happen, I'll be able to handle it. If it doesn't happen, fine. I'll be fine. It will be fine, right? So part of helping someone with anxiety is just helping them embrace this uncertainty that they have. Now, here's the cool thing about that. When you embrace uncertainty, it kind of actually has this opposite effect. It creates certainty for you because you're like, hey, like, so if you're like trying to get certain, right? If you're anxious and trying to get certain, you never can really be certain. I mean, you're out here guessing, oh, this might happen, or this might happen, or this might happen, but you really are never certain. You're just kind of guessing, right? But the way to create certainty is actually the opposite of what you think, is to create that uncertainty. Because uncertainty basically says, I can handle anything that happens. I can handle if this happens, I can handle if this happens, I can handle if this happens. Am I making sense here? Am I making sense? So the idea is to embrace uncertainty in situations. Just be like, I don't have to know. I don't have to know what's going on. I don't have to know. I can just be like, just chill. I can just be chill. I need some potato chips and drink some Diet Dr. Pepper and just be chill. I can be chill. I can just let life play out. I can just be calm. I can just be calm. I can let life play out. Okay, I'm sitting here, life play out. I'll handle you. I'll handle you. I'm just gonna sit back and eat my sour cream and onion chips. Life, you play out in front of me. Go ahead. I'm not gonna try to control you. I'm not gonna try to control you, life. Nope. Nope, that's what I used to do. I used to try to control you, life. No, not anymore. Nope. I'm just sit back and say, okay, life play out. Life play out, and I'm going to figure out a way to deal with life however it plays out. That's the control. That's the certainty that I have, is to know that I can handle whatever plays out. It's not the opposite. You got that? Community-based therapist lunch right here. Sour cream and onion, chips, and Diet Dr. Pepper. Cheers. Happy Wednesday.
On track, now we gon' way up. W is easy as a layup.